I have a question about parental involvement. And this comes partly from our research from one of our reporters, our education reporter, Nate Robeson, who's looking into this question. What do you expect parents to do in terms of being engaged that really helps their child? You made a speech once and you referred to it as authentically. But you know, as you probably know, there was a Harvard study out probably last year that found that what everyone believes is not true, that going to parent-teacher conferences and doing homework with your child actually can hurt their academic progress. So what do you want parents out there to do in terms with their...
I have to laugh at that, David, because as my kids started progressing through the grade levels in math, I was that parent that was hurting them when they were doing their homework in math, starting about sixth grade because of how much more rigorous it is than when I was going to school. But when I say authentic engagement, it truly means this. And when you look at the makeup of our community, there's a disengagement, but not by choice necessarily, but perhaps by, I think there's a feeling of a lack of connectedness in some sections. But in the South, especially in the Hispanic culture, they'll tell you that parental engagement is not part of the Hispanic culture. And so what we've got to do is a couple different things. First of all, I'm asking parents to come in and simply tell us who their kids are by name, strength, need, hopes, and dreams. They do know who their kids are. And if they can come in and at least work with us on that level, that's that authentic engagement that I'm talking about. Parent-teacher conferences and helping out at bake sales or those types of things. Those that we've always done. Those things are great. We need to continue to do them. But let's really bring parents to the table as partners and ask them, how can we meet your child's needs? And we don't tend to ask that.
But do parents always know what their child's needs are for academic success? I mean, it sounds good to say we want to know all their names, we want to know their strengths, but really, does that work?
What we have to do is not put that onus on the parents, but what the parents can do is help us understand who they are as a learner, who they are as a young person, as an individual, and help us understand what it is in their life. What is it that excites them? And then how can we then tailor the learning to fit those areas of interest? That will be a seismic shift in student engagement when we get better at that. When you see teachers out in the hallways greeting kids in the classroom at the beginning of the day, the beginning of the class period, and you see an exchange, and you see that teacher asking them how their weekend was, how was that competition that you performed, how was your basketball game, how was that art festival, and they know those kids by who they are. The engagement factor in those classes is significantly higher. Parents can help us make that connection.